Double D. Welcome to the real T with double D. Welcome to the real T with double D. Yeah. Grab your tea and take a seat, cause we got something to say. We bring you that news when it happens same day. All of it be accurate, cause we give it to them straight. And the real T with double D don't spread nothing fake. Wanna hear news about politics, then go on here subscribe. Like the channel 12, we bring it to them live. With updates by Trump trial and how he facing time. We gon' let you know the real about the news and crimes. Speak on all topics and we make it interesting. Post them on the channel, now they wanna call us messy. When celeb news exposed, we be on it in a second. Blackering while I'm black, we accurate, not guessing. Welcome to the real T with double D. Welcome to the real T with double D. Welcome to the real T with double D. Welcome to the real T with double D.
Hey players, welcome to a brand new episode of the Real T with Double D. Of course, I'm your girl Double D, and we are on streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and the Tickety Talk. How are you guys doing tonight? Your girl is nervous as shit. You know what I'm saying? But it is okay. Because like my girl Andrea said, I am amongst friends. So when I F up, y'all just gonna look over because y'all know that players F up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wouldn't be here if you didn't know that players F up. So we're gonna make it do what it do when we need to do what it do. Okay? In my Sakithia voice. I hope you guys are having a good footloose and fancy-free evening. I am not too late. I'm a little bit late, but not too late. And that's okay, honey, because that's my business, you know, and y'all was going to wait a little bit for me, and that is okay. I thank you guys for waiting a little bit for me and being patient with me. Your girl Double D is just as nervous as hell. I don't know what I'm doing, baby. They done changed up StreamYard. I don't know how to work this thing anymore, but that's okay because we are really going to make it do what it do, and we need to make it do what it do. You heard me? So tonight, I got a really good show lined up for you guys, I think, and I'm really hoping that you guys will enjoy the show as much as I enjoyed preparing it. But first things first, I would like to send a birthday shout out. I hope she's in the building, turning 52 years old today. Her name is Miss Marcy. Let's go ahead and give her a round of applause and some birthday snaps. She turned 52 years old today, and she said she would like nothing more than to spend her birthday with your girl Double D. So I am here, honey. So make sure y'all grab y'all tea, have a seat, because we are going to get into this first story. Happy birthday, Miss Marcy. All right, players. So y'all know what's first on the agenda. Y'all know what is going to be on the agenda. It is going to be the election and what is going on. But I want to specifically talk about, before we get into the nitty gritty and all of the bombastic side eye of it all, I wanted to talk about early voting. We talked about this yesterday on Political Pulse. That is a show that I do with 4 other content creators, great content creators. Make sure you guys check us out on Wednesday nights. We have a couple of more shows left before the election, and we're really going to be going in. So again, that show is called Political Pulse, that I do with 4 other content creators, Zactivist, Too Raw, Too Real, Millichan, and El Murasaki. It's a really good show, and you guys can watch those playbacks on my YouTube. And yesterday's show is actually available on my Facebook, where we talked about early voting. So I have a little bit of a number here for you today. According to Target Smart, more than 26.85 million Americans have cast their ballots early, according to Target Smart. I am so happy to hear that people are out early voting. Y'all know I'm really not a big push. I don't early vote. I haven't early voted, but I am going to do it this year because I want to set a really good example for you players. So guess what? Your girl Double D is going to vote early for the first time tomorrow. I'm actually going to go and cast my ballot on tomorrow after we leave the school. My babies have a little award event. After we get done, me and my husband are going to go and cast our early voting ballots. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. According to Target Smart, 43% Democrats voted early. of this 26.85 million that have voted, 39% were Republicans and 18% were unknown. So I'm happy to hear that people are really early voting. It's really going to help on election night. Also, it gives you an opportunity to make sure if you do a mail-in ballot, there aren't any snafus or mess up, just to make sure that your ballot is counted. We talked about this yesterday on the Political Pulse, how Pennsylvania had tossed out 1.1 million ballots, and Pennsylvania is a state that could be won by as little as 10,000 votes, and they actually rejected 1.1 million votes over some small errors like dates, and also if that ballot wasn't placed in a secrecy ballot. This actually happened back in the primary. Two residents noticed that their ballots were not being counted, and they filed a lawsuit. Well, after the lawsuit was filed, the intermediate court actually sided with those two residents and said, hey, your provisional ballots should be counted. You just had some small technical errors. We side with you all. Your provisional ballot should be counted. Well, baby, when the RNC heard about this, the RNC went and filed an appeal to the intermediate decision, siding with those voters, basically fighting against someone being able to cast a provisional ballot when they had a small technical error on their ballot. I mean, if one thing's for certain and two things for sure, the Republicans are definitely going to try to make sure that you do not vote. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So they took this all the way to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, and yesterday they did rule that those ballots that had these technical errors could go back and cast a provisional ballot. Now, what really sucks about that is we have people who have cast those mail-in ballots, had a technical error, and now they're going to have to basically go in person to vote. But that is where early voting comes in. So on my Facebook page, I did give you guys the directions, you Pennsylvanians, on how to check your ballot. If you did do a mail-in ballot, make sure everything is okay. And if it's not, you need to scurry on down there and cast a provisional ballot. But at least the Pennsylvania Supreme Court did side with us and ruled against the Republicans, who seem to always be fighting against the vote instead of for the vote. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So again, scurrying back to that, 26.85 million Americans have cast their ballots according to Target Smart. Good news. If you can early vote, please do so. In my area, it's a really small area. I never really early voted because it literally takes me 10 minutes. But and I also heard that because I was under the false impression, Double D got to make a confession. I was under the impression that if you voted early, you couldn't get a sticker. And I really, really wanted my sticker. So I was like, I'm not going to early vote, honey. But I heard, I called down there. Baby, to make sure I could still get my sticker. And they said I could get my sticker. So tomorrow I will be scurrying on over to early vote. All right, players, y'all go ahead and grab your tea and have a seat. We got to scurry on over to Arizona, honey, because we got somebody setting fire to post office boxes. Those boxes on the side of the road, and they done damaged some ballots. Baby, I declare, it's a disgrace. They done arrested his ass, though. Y'all grab your tea, have a seat. Let's get into the next story. All right, players. So the next story on the agenda is coming out of Phoenix, Arizona. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Baby, somebody done scurried on up there and they have set fire to a post office box in Phoenix, Arizona. According to reporting, 20 ballots were damaged. And this fire was lit on October 24th near 7th Avenue and Indian School Road. The damaged ballots were turned over to the postal inspector, but the damaged ballots were turned over to the postal inspector. Again, the fire happened just after 1:30 a.m. on October 24th outside of a post office near 7th Avenue. Phoenix fire crews responded to the scene and extinguished the fire expeditiously. 20 electoral ballots and other pieces of mail were damaged. Now, the postal inspector took possession of the damaged ballots and mail. That's according to the Phoenix fire captain. The Phoenix Fire Investigators Task Force, which includes Phoenix police detectives and Phoenix fire investigators, were working with the Postal Service to investigate this situation. Is absolutely ridiculous and a hot boo shitty mess. And now, when I first put this story down on my agenda for tonight, I did not know that they had actually made an arrest, but they have made an arrest. And here he is, honey. Where's my thing? I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So the suspect that's been arrested by Phoenix officers of the goddamn law is 35-year-old Dieter Bradford Clothcorn. Baby, that don't even sound like a real name. Y'all, am I saying that right? Dieter, Dieter, Bradford Clothcorn. And that last name is spelled K-L-O, F is in Frank, K-O, R-N, Clothcorn. I declare, honey, that is his name, honey. They said that Clothcorn was located and arrested for an outstanding warrant and an unrelated arrest warrant. While in custody, he was interviewed about his involvement in the arson, and they say that he admitted to it. I declare, honey, what a disgrace.
He did that shit. Guilty.
Oh, yes, honey. It's guilty. He is guilty as F in my 50-cent voice. So, according to the Phoenix Police Department statement, Clothcorn stated that he committed the arson because he wanted to be arrested, that his actions were not politically motivated and not related to anything involving the upcoming election. According to the police, Clothcorn has a decent history with the Phoenix police and the valley surrounding. So he has been arrested and taken into custody, and those ballots have been turned over to the Maricopa County Recorder, where they will those people will be able to get a replacement ballot. The voters were made aware of it, and then tomorrow they will be able to request a replacement ballot. And if you are a voter that believe that you were impacted by the incident, you can go to requestmaricopa.vote. Mayor Gallego, meanwhile, insists that any attempts to interfere with the election will not be tolerated. That is a statement by the mayor. Clothcorn, Dieter, you damn ridiculous and a hot boo shitty mess at a time like this. I declare, what a disgrace. All right, players. So let's go ahead and scurry on, honey. Y'all grab your tea and have a seat, because next up we got to talk about Elon Musk, because today it seems like he done backpedaled and pussy pop out of giving out that money, honey, because according to Axios, he didn't give out no money today. Y'all grab your tea and have a seat. Let's get into it. All right, players. So we done talked about this on my Facebook page, honey, about how Elon Musk Super PAC is giving out. A few weeks ago, he said that he started a petition to support the Second Amendment, the First and the Second Amendment, where Pennsylvania voters could sign up and they could get $45 to sign this said petition or whatnot. Then he upped the money a few days later to like $75 or something. He changed the amount to $75, and then just a few days ago, he announced that he was going to be giving away $1 million a day to any person that signed this petition. Okay. Now, since the inception of this, since he announced that he was going to be giving away the $45, everybody was feeling like he was buying votes, honey. And I'm going to go ahead and keep it a stack with you. I felt the same. I mean, something about that is something that's stinking in this water. And the governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, actually said that even though he's not the attorney general, he feels like there needs to be an investigation. And according to reporting, the Justice Department actually got involved with this after Elon Musk gave out $3 million. Two of them had already voted and they were already registered Republicans. Now, most people believe that Elon Musk is doing this because he's trying to steer people into voting for Frumpy Dump or whatnot in that swing state. We know that Pennsylvania is a swing state. So, but two of them that he gave the $1 million to were already registered Republicans and they had already voted in the election. And because they're registered Republicans, we can only assume that they had voted for Frumpy Dump. The other person, we're not sure who they voted for. Well, baby, the Justice Department, according to sources, the Justice Department sent Elon Musk a letter, honey, and sent Elon Musk and his super PAC, because that's who he's doing this through, a letter warning him that the giveaway might be illegal. According to the reporting, the Justice Department sent a letter to the super PAC founded by Elon Musk. Should I call him Musky? I don't know. I got to find a name for him. I don't know what I'm going to figure out yet. I don't know, but I'm going to figure out something for old Elon. Anyway, so the Justice Department sent the super PAC founded by Elon Musk this week, warning that awarding $1 million to registered voters who signed a petition might violate federal laws against paying voters, according to two people with knowledge of the situation. Similar warning letters from the department's public integrity unit have been sent to businesses and organizations that tied promotions to voting or intended to suggest that continuing such an activity could result in a criminal investigation. Now, the letters typically don't outline the department's next steps and are intended to force the recipient to make changes to conform with the law. Now, Justice Department spokesperson declined to comment on whether they really sent that letter to Elon Musk. However, Elon Musk's lawyer did not offer a comment on Tuesday or Wednesday on whether his super PAC or him received a letter. Now, some people would argue that perhaps Elon did, and the super PAC did receive a letter from the Justice Department, because even though they said they were going to be giving out $1 million a day, they didn't get no damn $1 million out today. Oh, yes, honey. It's true. Today Elon Musk or the super PAC did not announce $1 million winner today. Now, we don't know if they gave it behind closed doors. Maybe possibly they did, but I would think if they're giving away $1 million, they're seeking to garner support for their petition. So they would post that. But I have not seen nothing of the such, and I scoured the internet streets for it. And according to Axios, he did not announce one today. So maybe that warning from the Justice Department made Elon Musk sit his ass down and shut the F up. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So we're gonna see what's gonna come out in the Washington arrangement of that. But I'm gonna keep it a stack, which I'm like 50 cents on this.
That shit is crazy. I really don't like that guy.
I really don't like him, dude. I do not like him at all. So whatever happens to him, it happens to him. All right, players, y'all go ahead and grab your tea and have a seat, because we're going to scurry on over to the election now. I know y'all ready to talk about some of the things that's going on. Of course, we don't have a whole lot of time. I can't go through every single thing, but I've got to talk about this whole situation with John Kelly. I've got to talk about this, honey, because my question to everybody would be, if the people who are closest to this man, who worked in his very own cabinet and could have an opportunity to have a cushy cabinet job again and work with him again, if they're not supporting him, then why the hell is this up for debate? Why is anybody supporting this man? And why is this race so damn close, according to polling? Y'all know I don't like polling, but y'all grab y'all tea and have a seat. I need some water, and we're going to talk about this thing. All right, players. So yesterday, everybody knows that the internet was brokest to the highest level of brokest when these reportings surfaced from the New York Times about John Kelly, who was Frumpy Dump's former chief of staff. Now, John Kelly is a retired Marine general who was Frump and Dump's White House chief of staff, and he's quite frankly he's been talking about Frump and Dump for a while. This isn't the first time that I'm gonna say this. He's talked about Frump and Dump for a while, at least in reporting, but this is the first time that we actually heard his voice talk about Frump and Dump. So this is a big deal. And when I tell you the people are definitely talking about this, honey. The Democrats, they jumping all over this. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a stack with you. I'm smiling from ear to ear. So these recordings that were published saying that Frump and Dump, John Kelly said that Frump and Dump is the definition of a fascist, and that he spoke of loyalty of, dang, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. I'm gonna say Hitty. Y'all know what I'm talking about though when I say this. I'm gonna say Hitty because I don't know how this will go, but I'm gonna say Hitty. In addition to the fascist comments, John Kelly, who was Frump and Dump's chief of staff from 2017 to 2018, told the New York Times that Frump and Dump certainly prefers the dictator approach to the government. He also confirmed to The Atlantic that Frump and Dump had said he wished his military personnel showed him the same deference Adolf Hitler generals showed the German dictator during the World War II. Dang, that's hard to say. In this recording, he said, "Do you mean Bismarck's generals?" Kelly told the Atlantic he'd asked Frump and Dump. He added, "I mean, I knew he didn't know who Bismarck was or about the Franco-Persian War. Do you mean the Kaiser generals? Surely you can't mean Hitty's generals." And he said, yeah, Hitty's general. I explained to him that Rommel had taken himself out of the game after taking part in the plot against Hitty. Of course, Frump and Dump campaign has denied the exchange. According to Frump and Dump, this is absolutely false. Frump and Dump never said this, according to his campaign advisor. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So y'all take a listen, and I know I got something up in here for y'all from him. Listen to John Kelly here and what he has to say, a little bit more of it.
What do you think? Do you think he's a fascist?
Well, I'm looking at the definition of fascism. It's a far-right, authoritarian, ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition, belief in a natural social hierarchy. So certainly, in my experience, those are the kind of things that he thinks would work better in terms of running America. You know, again, back to this issue of, democracy is complicated, messy to operate, probably the worst kind of government there is, except for all the other ones. I think Churchill once said that. And again, our Constitution, our founders built in to the Constitution and to the way our government operates, built in a lot of checks and balances, and didn't design the government to be streamlined and whatnot. So, but certainly the former president is in the far right area. He's certainly an authoritarian. Admires people who are dictators. He has said that. So he certainly falls into the general definition of fascist, for sure.
All right, players. So that is what John Kelly had to say. Frump and Dump was, of course, pissed to the highest level of festivity when that dropped yesterday. And this is what he wrote on Devil is a Lie Social. I'm going to give you a synopsis. Thank you for your support against the total degenerate named John Kelly, who made up a story out of pure Frump and Dump derangement syndrome hatred. This guy had two qualities which don't work well together. He was tough and dumb. The problem is his toughness morphed into weakness because he became jello with time. The story about soldiers was a lie, as are numerous stories he told. Even though I shouldn't be wasting my time with him, I always feel it's necessary to hit back in the pursuit of the truth. John Kelly is a lowlife and a bad general whose advice in the White House I no longer sought and told him to move on. His wife once told me at Camp David, John admires you tremendously. When he leaves the military, he will only speak well of you. I said thank you. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So who would think that Frump and Dump didn't say these things? From the way that he speaks about this man who was in the military, in the Marine Corps for, I think they say like 40 years or something, retired. His son lost his life in Afghanistan. And this is the way Frump and Dump speaks about him. It's absurd.
Me a fascist, and everyone knows that's not true. They call me everything until, something sticks.
I want to give you a chance to respond to your former chief of staff, John Kelly, directly. He said some things about you, essentially accusing you of disparaging American soldiers in an Atlantic article. When's the last time you talked to him, and how would you like to respond?
Years ago, I fired him. He was a bully, he was a bad guy, and he ended up being a weak guy because all bullies end up being weak. And he wasn't a smart guy. It's a bad combination. But I fired him. He made a statement that I'm like Hitler. It's just couldn't be further from the truth. It's just the opposite, actually.
I declare, honey. What a disgrace. So we're supposed to believe Frump and Dump over this guy. Now, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, she had something to say in response to John Kelly. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. My lady was looking absolutely wonderful, and Lord, did I not put it in? Y'all, I don't have it. I really wanted to play it too. There you go, Double D kicking back in again on the first episode. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Well, anyway, she had some very important points to say. That the American people has a choice to make. What is it? How many percentage of Frump and Dump out of the 42 people who work in Frump and Dump's cabinet, only about half of them support him, and the other half, they probably just hoping that they get another job if he get reelected. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. President Obama at a rally tonight, he had this to say about what John Kelly had to say.
And you do not have to take my word for it. Lately, some of the people who know Donald Trump best have been saying in no uncertain terms that he should not be president again. The other day, General John Kelly, Donald Trump's former chief of staff, said that Trump told him he wanted his generals to be like Hitler's generals. Now, don't boo, vote. Now, I want to explain that in politics, a good rule of thumb is don't say you want to do anything like Hitler. That's just good political advice. But it is useful because it gives us a window into how Donald Trump thinks.
So that's what President Obama had to say in regards to the comments by John Kelly. Tonight, somebody brought this up in the comments, and I'm going to see if I can at least let you guys hear the audio on my other phone from Charlemagne the God. He had an exchange with Anderson Cooper. I actually saw this, and I'm glad somebody brought it up in the comments. I was going to download it, but I didn't. Anderson Cooper, he had an exchange with him tonight regarding insane washing, is what they called it, of Donald Trump. I'm going to try to play this for you guys, and I'm hoping that you can hear it. If you can't hear it, let me know in the comments, and then we'll just move on from it. But I really wanted to, since someone brought it up, I wanted to play it.
Who's talking about putting people in camps. I don't know why we're talking, or why we want to elect somebody who's talking about mass deportation. I don't know why we're having this conversation about somebody who wants to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. Are we supposed to be a patriotic country? Whenever somebody like Colin Kaepernick takes a knee in this country, everybody talks about, oh, that's so unpatriotic. But a guy can say he wants to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election, and nobody cares. Like even me bringing it up now, you brought it back to Kamala and Joe Rogan. Anderson.
Yeah.
Who gives a damn?
Well, I mean, I think you give damn who's elected president, and I'm asking
that
you.
president is a fascist. That's talking about putting people in camps. That's talking about, once again, terminating the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. That's talking about, jailing his political opponents. Like, that rhetoric doesn't scare people.
We talk about this every single. This is what
I don't think
I've been talking about this every night.
I don't think y'all have enough conversations about it. I feel like I heard more on this network about is Kamala Harris black than I do about Donald Trump being a fascist.
Well,
am I wrong, Angela?
Honestly, that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
I like that.
That's
Go ahead,
no. I'm not. Look, I'm a huge fan of yours. Okay, but to say that we're sitting around discussing is Kamala Harris black, like
I've seen that. I've seen those roundtable discussions a lot. Now that's
bullshit.
bullshit, Anderson. For you to say that y'all don't have those conversations.
I've never asked somebody is.
Oh, I'm not saying you. I said the network.
He said the network.
I don't think anyone on. I don't think any anchor on this network has been going around saying, "Is she black?"
Y'all never
It's
had
definitely.
I mean, we have had. Look, I'm sure we have had. Nutty people or people who have strongly held beliefs who I may disagree with, who somewhere on some panel have said something, but I will just speak up for what I do on the show. I do believe it's important to get people different viewpoints as long as they're willing to have a legitimate conversation. What I don't like are surrogates who come out and just spout talking points that they don't even believe, and those are people I tried to eliminate from having ever on the air again.
I think no network has honest conversations about Donald Trump. Nobody's had honest conversations about Donald Trump since 2016. I saw last night they were talking about, the double standard that exists between Donald Trump and the vice president, but it's always a double standard with Trump, whether it's with Hillary, whether it's, against Biden, now with Kamala. We talk about him being a threat to democracy, but we don't treat him like one.
I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a stack with you. That was a very good exchange. I really enjoyed. For once, Charlemagne got it right. Y'all know I'm not a big Charlemagne fan, but for once he got it right. There is this big, and they have been talking about this lately in the media. I have noticed it. I'm gonna tell you somebody who really talks about it, and if you really want to hear about it, that goddamn Lawrence O'Donnell. When he starts talking about how the media treats Trump versus how they treat Kamala versus how they treated President Biden. When he starts talking about that, he calls Frump and Dump stupid. Lawrence O'Donnell goes in on Donald Trump every single night. I 100% believe him when he went to Frump and Dump's trial in New York and Frump and Dump was glaring at him. I know that it's true. I know that Frump and Dump likely wanted to take his pamp off and smash it in his face, because when I tell you this, Lawrence O'Donnell goes in on Frump and Dump every single night. If y'all think I'm bad, the only thing he doesn't do is call Donald Trump frumpy. Other than that, calling him stupid, calling him deranged, all of the things. Lawrence O'Donnell will give it to him every single night. It never fails. And what Charlemagne is saying is 100% true, that there is this insane washing of Donald Trump when it comes down to the media. And this is on every platform. This isn't just on Faux News. This is literally on every single platform. They don't spend enough time talking about the things that this man is doing that is a clear threat to democracy, that is completely insane. And if President Biden did some of these things, I mean, they would have been taught. I mean, they tossed this man out for one bad debate. But Donald Trump sits up here and plays music for 39 minutes and sways as his pamper continues to sag second by second, and nobody says nothing. They don't say anything about putting him out. It's absolutely ridiculous and a hot boo-boo shitty mess. But hey, it is what it is, honey. That is their candidate, and I can't wait to see him lose. Well, players, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next subject. Again, John Kelly, 42 out of the 42 people in Donald Trump's cabinet previously, how many of them are still supporting him? Only half of them. I mean, if the people who work that closely with him don't want to support him, his own daughter doesn't campaign for him, his own wife doesn't campaign for him unless she's selling something and it's her contractual obligation. Why is this race so close? Why are we literally sitting here looking at poll numbers that are 1% away from each other? I don't like polls, but a lot of people look at them and they like them, but I don't understand this. I feel like we're in 2016 all over again, but I'm hoping we have a different result. All right, players, y'all go ahead and grab your tea and have a seat. we're going to be moving on, honey, because there's a certain somebody that scurried their ass on over to Annalise Keaton's internet yesterday and said that the dime was going to be dropped on Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. And by the end of the day today, by 12 o'clock, the dime was going to be dropped, and it was going to be so bad that all the Dems was going to scurry away. Baby, y'all ain't going to guess who it is. Grab your tea. Have a seat. Let's talk about it. Oh Lord, let me get the right picture up there. It wasn't Hagerman. I'm sorry. George, I'm just a boy in a dress, Santos. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. George, just a boy in a dress, Santos, has reared his ugly head again.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Oh, yes, honey. It's true. Yesterday, George, I'm just a boy in a dress, Santos, scurried on over to Twitter, where he decreed and declared that there was going to be this bombshell report that was going to drop on Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, and it was going to be so bad that every Democrat was going to be tucking their tails, and so many people was going to be leaving her, and blase skip, as if anybody believes this pathological liar. Y'all watch this video, and I'll see you on the other side.
Gotta tell you something. It's so crazy. I just got off the phone with a source, and they're telling me that tomorrow the Kamala Harris ship sinks. You're gonna see all the rats jumping off. The story that's gonna break tomorrow is so damning and so bad that Democrats are going to distance themselves from her like something you've never seen before. And essentially, you might even see some asking for people to vote for Trump. This is wild. Stay tuned as this drops tomorrow.
I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Now, this video was made by George I'm Just a Boy in a Dress Santos as he's awaiting his sentence for fraud, lying, being a dumb diddy, and all of the things, fabricating his whole life. He made this video while waiting for his sentence on that. And of course, like clockwork, George I'm Just a Boy in a Dress Santos had to backpedal and pussy pop. He had to backpedal and pussy pop out of what he posted on Annalise Keaton's internet by decreeing and declaring that he was going to sue his source if they didn't drop that information. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. A few hours after George I'm Just a Boy in a Dress Santos posted, 12 hours after he posted that there was going to be this bombshell report about Madam Vice President Kamala Harris that was going to break Annalise Keaton's internet and make the Dems scurry away and leave her. He posted on Twitter, due to the vitality of this video, the very large publication is now stressed over the fact I got ahead of them due to my inside source. If they don't drop the story, I'm going to lawyer up and scoop them and expose their cover up. I have no need or reason to come out here or say things that are so insane during a presidential election. So don't count me out yet. I've worked way too hard to regain the trust of people after my shortcomings as a man. To the publication, I will let this go. Guys, get in your newsroom and straighten it out yourself and get the story published as planned. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Well, we're scurrying up to 12 o'clock and there's still no story. So once again, George I'm Just a Boy in a Dress Santos, if the MAGA was waiting on you to drop a story on Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, this is exactly what happened to him.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Oh, yes, honey. They have once again been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, and won amok if they believed anything coming from George I'm Just a Boy in a Dress Santos. I guess they gonna find out that Madam Vice President Kamala Harris only worked for McDonald's for 15 minutes like Frump and Dump. Maybe that's the bombshell report. I don't know. All right, players, y'all go ahead and grab your tea and have a seat, because according to reporting, we're going to have a special guest tomorrow in Texas, and we're going to talk about it, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it a stack with you. I'm still salty from last time. Y'all grab your tea and have a seat. Let's get into it. So, according to reporting, there may possibly be, well, they're saying that it's confirmed that that there's going to be a special guest in Texas tomorrow at Madam Vice President Kamala Harris's rally in Texas. According to several outlets, a lot of them are reporting, honey, that the Queen Bee is on the way, honey. They say she's going to be possibly performing tomorrow at Madam Vice President Kamala Harris's rally. According to them, she agreed to appear Friday at a Houston rally for Madam Vice President Kamala Harris alongside her mother. I can believe now. See, it has a little bit of credibility to it because they added in Mama Tina, and y'all know Mama Tina love her some Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. So hey, if Tina asked Beyonce to do it, I believe Beyonce might do it. So they said she's going to be there alongside her mother and country music icon Willie Nelson. This is according to people familiar with the planning who spoke on the condition of I can't say it, y'all. Anonymity. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, anonymity. Dang. Anyway, to preview an appearance that hasn't been publicly announced. So y'all remember what happened last time at the DNC, baby. I was on anonymity. I almost had anonymity. Dang. Anyway, I'm gonna let it go. Okay. So y'all remember what happened last time with the DNC. So when everybody was reporting it earlier, Andrea, she actually sent it to my email. I didn't even respond to her email because again, I'm still salty about what happened with the DNC. I didn't appreciate our top being played on like that. And the way that publicist came out like what? Like maybe an hour before it was supposed to go down, or 15 minutes before she was supposed to go on and say, oh, she ain't coming. I ain't like that. So I ignored Andrea and I ignored everybody else that sent me the text. I didn't want to see the text because if she gonna show up, I'm gonna be surprised like everybody else because I'm gonna be as happy as a flea on a dog's ass. All right, players, y'all go ahead and grab your tea and have a seat, honey. We're gonna get a little bit into Frump and Dump's Frump and Dump filed a motion to dismiss his January 6th federal election case. We're going to talk about that a little bit, just a little, and we're going to move on. Grab your tea, have a seat. Let's get into it. Oh. All right, players. So the next item on the agenda is Frump and Dump's legal cases. We had a development in his federal election interference case with special counsel Jack Smith. Frump and Dump is once again trying to backpedal and pussy pop out of it, and he's going to use Judge Luce Cannon and Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas's playbook to do it. According to reporting, according to the filing, Frump and Dump is asking for his federal election interference case to be dismissed on grounds that Jack Smith had been illegally appointed to his job as special counsel. I declare, honey. The proposed motion establishes that the unjust case was dead on arrival, unconstitutional even before its inception, according to Frump and Dump's Cracker Jack Box legal team. The lawyers went on to say that they believe Attorney General Merrick Garland violated the appointments clause of the Constitution by naming a private citizen, Jack Smith, to target Frump and Dump while Frump and Dump was campaigning to take back the Oval Office from the Attorney General's boss without statutory basis for doing so. Frump and Dump's attorneys were required to ask Judge Chuckin, who was overseeing the election, for permission to file the motion, in part because the Federal Appeals Court in Washington had already weighed in on the question, ruling that the appointment of special counsel Jack Smith was in fact valid. Both Judge Chuckin and the Appeals Court are unlikely to look with much favor into Frump and Dump's attempt to challenge the appointment of Attorney General Jack Smith. Special Counsel Jack Smith. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Again, Frump and Dump is using the playbook that was written out for him by Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas when they gave Frump and Dump immunity for official acts. in a portion of it that really didn't need to be there. We all know Clarence Thomas wrote an opinion regarding special counsel appointments, basically saying that they're illegitimate and all of these things. So Judge Luce Cannon, in turn, used that playbook from Clarence Thomas to throw out Frump and Dump's classified documents case in Florida. And now Frump and Dump is trying to use it to backpedal and pussy pop out of this January 6th election interference case. It is damn ridiculous and a hot boo boo shitty mess. So that is the latest. You know, you guys always watch these, and I'm going to definitely keep you updated. So make sure y'all are following me for that day-to-day tea. All right, players, grab your tea and have a seat. We're going to move on to Ted Cruz. We've got to talk about this mess here. I declare, honey, it's a disgrace. So y'all know things ain't looking too good for Ted Cruz down there in Texas. He's running for re-election. He got completely skull drugged and slaughtered during his during the debate with Colin Allred. He also tried to go after Mitch McConnell, saying that Mitch McConnell was holding all this money in his super PAC and he wasn't trying to help nobody win the election and blase skip and all of these things. So Ted Cruz is having a hard time. But overwhelmingly, according to reporting, there's a little bit of a difference between him and Colin Allred. According to the polling, I believe it's like a 1% difference. So Colin Allred is definitely making some leeway there. But so Ted Cruz is doing what he's going by the Frump and Dump playbook. He's running these ads regarding this whole transgender thing. According to Ted Cruz is running some campaign ads, a part of a multi-million-dollar media blitz hitting Representative Colin Allred over his support for trans-inclusive policies. The ad features photographs of high-profile transgender athletes, including former University of Pennsylvania swimmer Leah Thomas and Cece Telfler, who is a Jamaican-born sprinter and the first out trans woman to win the NCAA. The ad also includes a photo of two teenage girls who compete in a track and field event at a neighboring high schools in Western Oregon. Neither of the girls pictured are transgender. However, Ted Cruz's ad implies otherwise. So they have used, without the permission of these parents, some footage from a school board and from a school district, and they have used it without permission, and it has some underage girls. They're in there implying that these underage girls are transgender, and now the school district is asking Ted Cruz to take it down. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So according to reporting, an Oregon school district asked Ted Cruz campaign to take down two ads targeting transgender athletes because they include photographs of two minor girls who are not transgender and whose parents did not give Ted Cruz's campaign permission to use the photo. Oh, yes, honey. It's true. A representative for one of the girls' school districts said that the district and the girls' family were unaware of the ads until the Hill contacted them. The girls' parents did not give Cruz campaign permission to use the photo. The parent of the second girl in the photo did not return the phone call seeking comment. The Hill is not releasing the names of the girls or anything to identify the girls because they are minors. Now, in the email sent, this is some great reporting by the Hill, by the way. In the email sent Thursday to Cruz's campaign, the representative from the Beaverton School District requested that the ads be pulled from any and all distribution platforms, noting that the two athletes pictured are minors. In the email, they say the family nor the school or school district ever gave permission for a photo to be used. It's alarming that your campaign would have produced, distributed, promoted this ad with false information, especially with minor children involved. The image in Cruz's ad of the two girls appears to come from an April report in the Central Oregon Daily News about criticisms levied against transgender high school athletes in the state. So Ted Cruz his campaign pulled that ad from the newspaper and the school website, and that's where they got that from. And they're using this of minor school girls, and they are basically not taking it down. Now, according to a Cruz campaign spokesperson, the photo features a female athlete who spoke out against boys playing in girls' sports after participating in a track meet where a biological male beat a female athlete, impacted individuals and team medal results. Now, the spokesperson did not directly respond to questions about the school district's request to take the ad down or whether the ad is misleading. I declare, honey, what a disgrace.
What the hey? You better go somewhere.
It's really damn ridiculous and a high boo shitty mess, but this is what I expect from Ted Cruz and his campaign. I mean, it's completely trash. His campaign is trash. He's and I'm hoping that Colin Allred gets him out of there. Again, Ted Cruz has done absolutely nothing, has brought nothing back in the 8 years that he's been in Congress. All he does is slob and spit and does political theater. He does absolutely nothing for his constituents. He's an embarrassment in each one of these hearings. He acts like a mumbling, jumbling fool. And also, he sucks the taint of Frump and Dump. And Frump and Dump talked about his very own wife. And he knows, like everybody else knows, that Frump and Dump ran attack ads in the National Enquirer against him, and they were some despicable and terrible ads, and he still continues to support this man. This is not someone that I would want to, this is not a person that I would want to represent me, because they wouldn't be a strong individual. That would be a person that would be out for themselves, that doesn't care who they hurt in order to get exactly what they want. If you will allow someone to talk about your very own wife, and you still go back to that person, it's absolutely ridiculous and a hot boo shitty mess. But players, I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and grab your baby. We at the end of the show. It is time to play your favorite game. We haven't played it in a while. It's time for another riveting episode of Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prizes. Players, it's time for another riveting episode of Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prizes. Hi, players. So the recipient of today's Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prize Award is going to have to go to Faux News. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So I'm pretty sure y'all remember after the 60 Minutes interview where Frump and Dump, Faux News, and MAGA were all over Annalise Keaton's internet decreeing and declaring that Faux News needed to, not Faux News, but 60 Minutes need to release the full version, the unedited version of Kamala's interview. They were accusing them of really editing and her 60 Minutes interview to make her appear better, and saying it was deceitful and all this kind of stuff, and saying it was the attacks were so bad from MAGA and Frump and Dump that 60 Minutes had to actually issue an official statement saying that nothing was edited like that. Of course, they edited interviews, but they weren't edited to that effect. So you would think, with that going on, with them saying that they're attacking 60 Minutes for this, that Faux News would not be guilty of doing the same for Frump and Dump, right? Well, if you thought that, you would be wrong, honey, because according to a new report by CNN, Faux News edited Trump's rambling answers and false claims in the barbershop interview. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. According to CNN, of course, we know Frump and Dump did an interview, did a barbershop style town hall or whatnot, where he was answering questions. And of course, there was a lot of people in there. Okay. There was a lot of people in the room. What Faux News did not anticipate, there was a lot of people in the room. And of course, some of these people that were there, they were actually recording what was going on. So when Faux News aired their segment, the people that was looking at some of these clips that were coming out of these people that were recording this entire thing, they was like, hey, what in the haberdasheries and hemoglobin is going on here? Because Frump and Dump was asked that particular question 4 or 5 times in this unedited clip. But when you look at what Faux News actually posted, baby, it looked like Frump and Dump answered that question straight away, and he was bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Well, baby, the lie detector determined that was a lie. Frump was not answering those questions straight on. Y'all watch this video from CNN, and then we're going to talk about it on the other side.
Trump has been attacking 60 Minutes for its editing decisions, accusing the network of conspiring with Kamala Harris to make her look better by editing her answers in a recent interview. CBS denies that, and last night CBS sent a letter to Trump basically swatting away his threats to sue the network. But that's the curious context for this story about Trump's recent appearance on Fox. He visited a barber shop in the Bronx, and when he was there, Fox camera crews tagged along. I was able to watch a fuller version of the experience, the interaction, via Instagram, because one of the attendees filmed it and put it on Instagram. And what I noticed were all of these moments where Trump was either lying or exaggerating or rambling or going off script, and Fox cut those out of the broadcast. Here's an example. Here's a clip that Fox actually did air. Notice how he seems to answer the question from the attendee right away.
So my question is, with all this extra revenue we're going to be bringing into the country, so do you believe at some point in time we can find a way, once the country's back on its feet and getting enough revenue and paid off our debt, do you think it's possible to find a way to eliminate federal taxes?
There is a way.
And how do you feel about
in the old days when we were smart, when we were a smart country, in the 1890s and all, this is when the country was relatively the richest it ever was.
Good question, interesting answer, but actually that attendee had to ask the question 4 times and get Trump to answer. And Fox stitched it together over the course of 7 minutes to create the illusion of one clear answer. Participants had to keep following up when Trump would meander and ramble. Now, this is an example of what some Trump critics call sane washing, and the press sometimes cleaning up Trump's speech to make him sound more sane. I would call it an example instead of normalizing. You know, it's an example of normalizing Trump to fit him into a TV time slot. Sometimes when that happens, you end up cutting out a lot of his false claims.
I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So while Frump once again is an embarrassment, he was running around talking about 60 Minutes. They edited Kamala's interview to make her look good. Come to find out, honey, Faux News been doing it for him all along. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. What they didn't expect, that the people in that barbershop was going to be recording them clips and was going to catch their ass up. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So Frump is once again the winner of the stupid prize. All right, players. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this brand new episode of The Real Tea with Double D. If you guys want to listen to the audio version of this again, remember, it will be uploaded on my podcast in the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. I don't think I got to edit very much out of it. I want to thank you guys on TikTok that hung around. I want to thank you guys on Facebook and YouTube that hung around and waited for me and all of the things. I really appreciate you guys. I'm hoping that I can make this a regular schmegular I'm hoping that I can make this a regular schmegular thing, and we can come back on Wednesdays after I finish the political pulse. So I'm hoping that we can do this on Wednesdays or either Thursdays, or maybe I'll do it every other week. I don't know, but I'm going to definitely try to do it every single week. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. I really do. And you people out there in podcasting world, thank y'all for continuing. Even though I haven't made a podcast in nearly a year, you guys have literally still been downloading this podcast, probably hoping that a new episode would come. Well, I'm here now. Things are better. My baby boy is much better. He's going to be on the principal's list tomorrow. So I'm happier and things are better. With my son, which is what I've been working on, and the reason why I had to kind of back from the social media a little bit, because I needed to focus on being a mother. And I needed to make sure that my boy was okay. And now that my boy, we're getting things rounded out, and my kids both of them are going to be on the principal's list tomorrow, and I'm so happy. And I'm hoping that we can start this back up and that we can get back to the way that we were, where Double D was giving you guys everything I got for a pork chop. I really appreciate it. Y'all know I like it fried hard. But anyway, thank you guys in podcasting world for continuing to download. You guys out there on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube for sticking with me and my baby as we work this thing out. And I'm hoping that we can make this a successful podcast again. I love you guys so much, and thank y'all for joining me, and I hope that y'all have a good night. Peace.
Welcome to the Real T with Double D. Thanks for listening to the Real T with Double D. Join us next week for the next episode of the most accurate news on the net. Be sure to follow on our social media platforms to stay up to date with all your day-to-day tea. Welcome to the Real T with Double D. And we out. Welcome to the Real T with Double D. Welcome to the Real T with Double D. Welcome to the Real T with Double D. Welcome to the Real T with Double D.